My life has absolutely no purpose and meaning, and one day I'm going to vanish from this reality. Life is too short to waste it, so that's why I decided to make another extreme demon. Recently, I was just wandering through the Geometry Dash NCS library listening to some banger music until I ended up coming across this song. And when I listened to that, my mind started shining because it gave me so many new level ideas that I thought my head was going to explode, unironically. So that's why I decided to use it to make one of those crazy effect levels, like white space and other stuff. Except this one will be an extreme demon. You already know the deal. I like extreme demon. And I want to make it bloodbath difficulty, so I can see if I can verify it myself. Anyway, let's see how it goes. The first step was to make the gameplay of the level, and for the first part I decided to make some relatively hard cube jumps. And then for the second section, since ship is my favorite game mode, I decided to make a very funny looking ship part. And obviously, I set it up in a way that I could copy and paste every single block on this part afterward. Anyways, this is how the gameplay for this part ended up looking like. I mean, at least I can beat it, I guess. Now it is time to start making my favorite part of creating levels. Decorating them. The first thing I made was some spike decoration, and for that I decided to not only spam a lot of different spikes inside of each other, but also I made some stars in the middle of the spikes because I thought it would look pretty cool, I guess. And it did, I think. After making the spikes, I decided to start making the block design, and I started it by making a completely different structure than anything I've ever made in my entire life, honestly. As you can see, I used a lot of different colors and lines, and just kinda kept going with the flow. Then, when it was time to make the details, my ideas were all gone, basically. I simply did not know what to do. So I took a 1-hour break from the editor to watch this random Geometry Dash YouTuber called Daily Dose of Geometry Dash or something. This guy is just a random pro. And after a while, when I came back to the editor, I turned my brain off and started doing random thing. I decided to grab a spike, use the warp tool to stretch it like this, and then I made some more triangular details on the block because I thought they would just go well with the spike. Then I made some stars inside the block designs and some other small extra details. After that, the first block design was basically finished, and I managed to finish it very quickly actually. I mean, I know I could add some 3D on it, but since the focus of this level will not be on the blocks, but on the effects, I don't think I will bother with that, to be honest. After copy and pasting these blocks sometimes, I decided to make some different looking blocks, because unfortunately, I can't simply make one block and just copy and paste it around the entire level. At least for now. Although, I still did copy and paste the details from that block to some other blocks, as you can see here. And also, I made some pillars, and then I spammed them around this part. And I think it really did create a pretty cool looking effect in my opinion. And with that, the block designs for the first part are finished, and now I decided to start making a background for it real quick. Since I was a little bit out of ideas as always, I just started doing literally anything that came to my mind. And after spamming a lot of circles and glow, I managed to make this giant thing that probably is supposed to look like something. I still think it looks pretty cool though. Then I just make some extra details like these circles that are supposed to look like planets, and also this giant thing that is supposed to exist, and I think overall this background ended up looking pretty good. And believe it or not, I made it in like 10 minutes, so yeah. Don't really take it that serious. After that, I just got bored and started making some ground spikes that literally look the same as every other ground spike that I have ever made in my entire life. And then I started making some random stuff for the air decoration just to make the level slightly less empty. For these arrows, as you can see, I basically just spammed a lot of fading lines, and that is my secret formula for air deco. I always spam these, it always works. So we don't make questions. And for the last, I decided to make this random rainbow thing in the middle of nowhere in this part, because I couldn't simply copy and paste the same air deco all around. Sometimes it's too much, even for me. After making some moves and after 3 hours of work, this is how the first part of the level is looking like. Wait, did you think it was already over? Nah, sit back, because now it's time to make the next section. Honestly, I personally really like the rainbow stuff that I made in the first part. I think it really fits to the overall purple color that I decided to use in this level. So for the next part, block designs, I decided to take it to another level. First thing I made were some lines with some grass objects in the top of it, and then I made another structure inside it. After that, I started making some rainbow decoration inside this block, and then I made some slopes inside it, just for it not to look that empty. And after just doing some other random details around it, this is how it ended up looking like. After copying and pasting it a little bit in the ship part, and also making a smaller variation for that block, I made some rainbow style ground spikes as well, using some rainbow saws and some black objects as you can see here, and in my opinion they are looking sick. And after making some more air deco using the same slopes I used inside the block designs and also some arrows, I decided to decorate that giant straight fly structure as well. And as you can see, I'm not really a lazy person at all, because I'm basically just spamming a lot of random block designs that I had made previously into it. Yeah, not lazy at all. Now it is the part that I have suffered the most in the level probably. This background took me about 2 hours to finish, and holy moly, this was work. My initial idea for it was to make like a colorful orb that would break into pieces, and then the drop would start and it was looking really sick in my head. But yeah, just in my head. First thing I made was this circle, and then I started spamming some glow around it. But as you can see, it was looking really ugly and bad and weird, and after spending 30 minutes trying to figure out how to make this glow better, I had the idea to simply make less glow, but make the glow bigger. And this is what I started making. I increased the size of the glow by a ton and started kind of spamming it in different hues, and now it is actually looking pretty sick. Also, it kind of reminds me of the old Sony Vegas logo, if it was colorful of course. After making some random glow things around it, just like that, just placed it in the background, and after spending 30 minutes trying to figure out a way to make it look good, I ended up actually making it, and it was actually looking pretty cool so far. Now it was time to make the shattering effect that I was talking about earlier. And for that, I basically used a lot of GD random objects that resemble cracks, and then I made them white. Afterwards, I made them appear randomly to make it seem like this thing was breaking, and after some adjusts, making an explosion effect for the transition that was totally not inspired on Kulak's Edge of Destiny part, I actually managed to make a pretty good effect. The last thing I made in this part were some particle effects in this straight fly to give it more intensity, and then I made absolutely everything move. And when I say everything, I mean every single thing that was placed in this level. And after 2 days of work and procrastination, I was finished with the first 15 seconds of this extreme demon. And this is how it is looking like so far. Guys, I know I'm not a person that finishes projects very often, but I promise I'll do my best to finish this one, because I really like how it is looking like so far, honestly. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video.